Well, good evening. Good evening. Thank you ever so much for tuning in to the Weekend Wrap. We haven't done a Weekend Wrap in a while, so we thought that we would change locations, here at the Space Power Production Studios to the living room. And that's why the lighting's different, and that's why the background's different. But in any case, we appreciate you being here. It's been quite a week. Yesterday, we learned that Ruth Bader Ginsburg had passed away at 87 years old. And again, and I said this in a Facebook Live today, our deepest condolences go out to her family, her husband, and her family. In this time, it's got to be tough. Even when somebody's 87 years old and has cancer, and in your mind is coming, but it takes your heart some time to catch up. And I understand that. And so we're going to make sure that we stay civil about that. Yes, there are constitutional questions, and there are things that are political that are attached to her life and her death, unfortunately. But right now, we're gonna let those play out. We're gonna tell you what they are, and eventually we'll tell you how we feel about it. But we're just gonna let those play out for a while. Today is going to be something else. So we got other things to deal with. Again, thank you again for tuning in. If you haven't heard, hang on a second. If you haven't heard, did you hear? We got involved with the folks at the coldest. I took this water bottle to work at my second job, which is outside, and in the heat. And I'm telling you, and I just filled it up with water from the from the little Zephyr Hills thing, and it kept the water that cool all day long. I'm not much for ice because in this metal case that makes a lot of noise, and I don't like that. So just the cold water was fabulous. You can get these at a discount if you go to the the Morning Report Facebook page. You can check that out. You can go to the Fight Back Media website, and you can become a sub-affiliate with us. So not only can you get these at a discount, you can sell them yourself, and you can make a few dollars. And in you making a few dollars, we can make a few dollars. It's a win-win-win kind of thing, and you get a great product. This is a great product. The founders of this product, Yep, just as cold as it was when I put it in in that thing this morning. And I guess I put it in there about 10:30, something like that. Still as cold as it was then. But in any case, we're going to get back here. We got 3 stories we're going to talk to you about as this weekend just kind of unfolds. And good God, what are we facing on Monday? Probably a lot. So we'll be back right after these messages.
Do you care about Black lives? The people that run Baltimore don't. I can prove it. Walk with me. They don't want you to see this. I'm Kim Klasick. This is Baltimore, the real Baltimore. This is the reality for Black people every single day. Crumbling infrastructure, abandoned homes, poverty, and crime. Baltimore has been run by the Democrat Party for 53 years. What is the result of their decades of leadership? Baltimore is one of the top 5 most dangerous cities in America. The murder rate in Baltimore is 10 times the U.S. average. The Baltimore poverty rate is over 20%. Homicide, drug, and alcohol deaths are skyrocketing in our city. Do you believe Black Lives Matter? I do. The vast majority of crime in Baltimore is perpetrated against Black people, who make up 60% of the population. So why don't we care about our communities? The Democrat Party have betrayed the Black people of Baltimore. If the politicians walked the streets like I do, they would see exactly how their policies and corruption affects us. But they don't want to see it. They don't want you to see this. Go to any Baltimore neighborhood and ask this question. Do you want to defund the police?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
I had 3 sons killed in Baltimore City. And I think if we defund the police office, it's going to be worse than that. So no, I'm opposed to that.
What are you going to defund the police for? Why? How do you defend your city, your community? Families are losing people.
It's not just Baltimore. The worst place for a black person to live in America is a Democrat-controlled city. It's 2020. Name a blue city where black people's lives have gotten better. Try. I'll wait. Look at this. How are children supposed to live here and play here? Democrats think black people are stupid. They think they can control us forever, that we won't demand better and that we'll keep voting for them forever, despite what they've done to our families and our communities. Are they right? I'm Kim Klacik, and I'm running for Congress because I actually care about black lives. All black lives matter. Our communities matter. Baltimore matters. And black people don't have to vote Democrat.
Hey, thanks so much for coming back. We appreciate it. We are these two stories that sort of are the same are just, it's one of those things that we talk about all the time, that how disingenuous the left is, continuously disingenuous about, well, frankly, about everything, and especially about how they view black people and how they view black people and black causes and black situations. It is amazing, frankly, that they continue, as far as I'm concerned, that they continue to get away with it. How do they continue to get away with such wanton disrespect of black people and black causes? Well, why would I say that? Well, let's go with our first story. Our first story is a leading activist for racial equality in Indianapolis, Indiana, apologized for misleading. This is another Rachel Dolezal sort of thing. Y'all remember Rachel Dolezal, right? Who was the president of the Spokane, NAACP, and had been parading around in bronzer, blackface, for a long time, pretending to be black, until her parents came out and said, "Oh, no, this is a blue-eyed, blonde-haired white girl in bronzer, pretending to be black, using black affectations. This person's a lie. This person's a lie and a liar." And then there's Shaun King, who forever was the front person for Black Lives Matter, and still is a large, loud voice on Twitter for black causes and Black Lives Matter and the like. Oh, he's white too. He's not even biracial. He's white. So a leading activist for racial equality in Indianapolis, Indiana, apologized for misleading people about her race for years in order to grow in prominence. Satchel Cole has been a highly visible racial justice activist in Indianapolis, has worked with the local Black Lives Matter chapter, and was even the spokesperson for the family of Aaron Bailey, who was killed by police in June of 2017. According to the Indy Star, her apology, which she posted on Wednesday on Facebook, came after Indy Live published an article detailing Cole's family history. This is partly what she said. "I have taken up space as a black person while knowing I am white," Cole said in her social media post. I have used blackness when it was not mine to use." She continued, "I have caused harm to the city, friends, and the work that I have held so dear. I will do the work and take responsibility for my actions and try to reduce the harm that I have already caused." Her name is Jennifer Benton. Before she legally changed in 2010, according to legal documents obtained by Black Indy Live. after her name change began identifying as, quote, biracial, telling fellow activists that she had a black father who she never met. Is that like the biggest friggin' stereotype ever? Oh yeah, I never met my father. He black though. I know he black, but I ain't never met him. Is that the biggest stereotype ever? Okay. It's bad. Let me finish this. Further documents obtained by Black Indie Live indicated that Cole's parents, they're both white. Cole's most prominent public role was on the Bailey case. U.S. Attorney General Josh Minkler announced in April 2019 that the officers involved wouldn't be charged due to insufficient evidence, according to the Star, the Indy Star. Those officers are never, ever, ever going to pay for what they did. And that's really difficult to stomach, Cole said on behalf of the Bailey family after Minkler's announcement. The Star reported, and we know that this was the last hope of getting justice, and it's not going to happen. In addition to her work on the Bailey case with Black Lives Matter, she worked with Indy showing up for racial justice, Indy Pride, and was vice president of the social justice organization Don't Sleep. The Star reported she founded No Questions Asked Food Pantry, which partnered with Black Lives Matter among other organizations. If there are ways to repair harm, I will do the work that is required to do so, Cole said Wednesday. I will continue to seek the help necessary to heal myself. I am sorry for the harm I have caused. I am sorry for the hurt and the betrayal. Cole's apology comes after Jessica Krug, a Washington University professor who pretended to be black, resigned from her position at the school. I should absolutely be canceled, Krug said in a Medium post on September 3rd, and we're going to cover that too. Right now. This is amazing. You know what's amazing to me? What's amazing to me is how these people continue to get away with it and are never held accountable. How is Rachel Dolezal not held accountable? How is Sean King not held accountable? How is this Brenton woman not held accountable? It just doesn't make any sense to me that they can sort of throw down some BS apology. I'm sorry I walked around in blackface. I'm sorry I pretended to be black. Sorry, and I did it for years, and I lied to black people and took up a space as a black person. I'm sorry, and became popular and became prominent, and in some cases became wealthier. And then when they make this apology, everything seems to be cool then. Well, they did good work. We can't just throw away all the work they did. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you are going to throw away the work that somebody did because you think that they were in blackface at some point, then you got to throw away. You got to cancel Rachel Dolezal, and you got to cancel Sean King, and you got to cancel this woman here in Indianapolis, and this woman here at this university. Let me pull this article up. She says she ought to be canceled. The Washington University professor who pretended to be black has resigned, the college announced on Wednesday. Jessica Krug, a history professor, apologized in a September 3rd Medium post for pretending to be black and admitted that she was a white Jewish woman. What the hell? And called herself a cultural leech. Update regarding Jessica Krug. Dr. Krug resigned her position effective immediately. Her classes for the semester are going to be taught by another faculty person who is probably black. Well, maybe not. And the students on these courses will receive additional information this week. George Washington University tweeted. She writes, I absolutely cancel myself. George Washington University professor apologizes for being black. This is amazing to me. And especially, you know, these people have this mantra that black people are oppressed, but they use blackness as a tool to elevate themselves, either in the social realm or the world of academia. If there's such oppression, how can they possibly use blackness as a tool to elevate themselves? School officials had previously said that Krug wouldn't be teaching for the semester, the New York Post reported. The university's history department called for Krug's resignation in a Friday statement. Failing that, the department recommended her the rescinding of her tenure and the termination of her appointment. So they were going to fire her anyway. So it wasn't like she had this come to Jesus moment. It wasn't like she had this Paul on the road to Damascus moment. She was going to be fired, and she was going to be fired anyway, and she was going to lose her tenure. And now is she going to receive any, I don't know, money afterwards, you know, pension? I don't have any idea. Krug wrote in the Medium Post, I should absolutely be canceled. No, I don't write in the passive voice ever, because I believe we must name power. So you should absolutely cancel me. I absolutely cancel myself. Insane, y'all. Absolutely insane. But that's what's going on. We'll be back right after these messages.
This is your brother, Antone Tucker, better known as Tony X. The reason why you see people outside and upset is because they were led to be that way. The main goal of the liberal today is to make sure that the black feels disenfranchised because they're the ones doing it to you. And they also make sure that your white conservative brothers and sisters feel powerless to talk to you. Black history isn't in the school books. Who do you think started the educational system that is currently brainwashing our children? Jimmy Carter's administration. Why is it that when Obama was in office for 8 years, he didn't get prison reform done? See, I see people saying Trump's racist, but I see that prison reform was done. Over 90,000 black and brown brothers and sisters coming home from prison. I see opportunity zones up and running. Think about it. Black historical colleges, the most funding they've ever had in history, and it came from Donald Trump. For the politicians that think that it's okay to defund police officers, to make sure that the officers within these communities can't do their jobs, shame on you. And as a new leader, I'm going to tell all the leaders coming up, it's time for us to stand up and lead. Thank you for taking the time listening to me. God bless you.
Oh, welcome back. Again, we appreciate you being here. You can check out all our assets over at fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com. We appreciate everything that you've done, and please check out the morning report page on fightbackmedia.com. And again, if you like these bottles and you always wanted one, add a little bit of a discount, save a little cash, go ahead and click on the link there on our Facebook page, on our website page, and on the morning report Facebook page. Really be helpful to us. You know, we're trying to give value in our content, and we're trying to give value in our affiliations as well. So if we can do that for you, that'll be a great thing. Like I said at the open, this past Friday, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Associate Justice, passed away at 87 years old from cancer. And again, our condolences from the fightbackmedia.com team go out to her and her family. And they may not ever see this video, but that's not important. It's important that we do the right thing. But I got to tell you, not everybody's ready to be reasonable. Not everybody's ready to be non-political. Not everybody. As a matter of fact, Eric Holder, while talking to Al Sharpton this weekend, has a message on what Democrats ought to do if Donald Trump fills this vacancy in the Supreme Court before the election. I guess they could. My guess is that they won't, but they could. This article is, again, from our friends at townhall.com and our friend Bronson Stocking. The Democrats' true colors are showing through for those who couldn't seem who couldn't seem them clearly already, have seen them clearly already. Former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder joined other Democrats on Saturday, in calling on Joe Biden and the Senate Democrats to pack the Supreme Court if they retake power in November. If they retake power in the Senate, the idea is to pack the court. Holder said the conservative majority on the Supreme Court would be, quote, illegitimate if President Trump fulfills his congressional obligation to fill the Supreme Court vacancy left by the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Now, this is the insanity of this. That somehow, if Trump does what he's supposed to do according to the Constitution, his pick would seem illegitimate. Here's what he says on MSNBC's Al Sharpton show. And is that still on? I guess. It says here that it's still on. I can't even imagine why it would be still on. You would have a conservative majority on the court, an illegitimate conservative majority on the court, ruling on these matters that will affect the nation, for generations to come, Holder lamented to MSNBC's Al Sharpton. After lamenting about the nomination of Merrick Garland, who Obama futilely put forth during an election year, when his party was out of power in the Senate, Holder said Democrats must rewrite the Constitution in order to pack the Supreme Court with liberals. And then they've tried this before. In fact, if in fact they are successful in placing a justice on the court, I think what Democrats have to do, assuming that Biden is president and there is a Senate majority for the Democrats, we need to think about court reform. At a minimum, as part of our reform package, I think additional justices need to be placed on the Supreme Court. Now, additional justices can be placed on the Supreme Court. And what Eric Holder knows is that what he knows, because he's not stupid, he knows that the Constitution that doesn't have anything to say about the number of justices on the court. He knows it already. It's got zippo to say about the number of justices on the court. There isn't any reason to rewrite the Constitution because of that. They could add as many justices as they want. There could be 700 justices on the court. There could be. This has been the plan all along. Even before Ginsburg's death, Democrats can't wait to end the filibuster and rip up the Constitution so they can force their left-wing agenda on the American people. Anyone who reveres this country and Constitution cannot let these people gain power, ever. But this is what they're talking about. Now, it doesn't matter that even Ruth Bader Ginsburg opposed the idea of packing the Supreme Court, one way or the other. But this is not what this is about. This is about this continued coup that's going on. But we'll talk more about that this week. Check out the Morning Report on Monday morning. Actually, every morning this week on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart.com, what's the other one? iTunes, you name it. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can get the Morning Report from fightbackmedia.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.